Welcome to our deep dive on credit score recovery after debt settlement. In this video, we will explore why settlements hurt, what you can do immediately to stop further damage, and the strategic steps to rebuild trust with lenders. Next, we will walk through a practical, time-based roadmap, plus common pitfalls to avoid, and we will test your knowledge with quick quizzes along the way. Here is today's agenda. First, we cover the mechanics of how settlements impact your score. Then, we shift into immediate actions to halt further decline. After that, we explain the 10% utilization rule and the strategic credit mix that accelerates recovery. Next, we map progress against a realistic timeline, followed by monitoring and dispute tips. Then we separate myths from reality, and finally we close with an action plan and key takeaways. Let's begin. This content is educational. It is not professional, financial, or legal advice. Credit scoring systems vary by country and bureau, and lender underwriting policies differ. Please consult a qualified professional for advice tailored to your situation. With that clarified, let's move into why settlement damages your score. Late payments frequently lead up to a debt settlement, and each late period, such as 30, 60, or 90 days past due, inflicts additional score damage. A settled account is coded differently than paid in full, and is interpreted by lenders as higher risk for future borrowing. Consequently, approvals become harder, and pricing worsens. However, scoring models are time-weighted. As derogatory marks age, their impact diminishes, especially when replaced by clean, positive, recent behavior. Therefore, the path forward is to create a strong stream of positive data that can outweigh the old negatives over time. Next, let's stop the bleeding with immediate actions. This flowchart maps the entire recovery system. We start by stopping late payments using autopay and a cash buffer. We then focus on utilization, pushing it below 10% with mid-cycle payments. Next, we build a diversified credit mix using 2 secured cards, 1 small secured loan, and 1 small consumer installment loan with a large down payment to control risk. Then we implement monitoring and monthly dispute checks. We revisit progress at 3, 6, and 12 months. Decision diamonds illustrate that if utilization rises above 10%, or if a payment is late, we loop back to corrective actions. If we maintain clean history and low utilization, we progress to higher scores, improved eligibility, and better loan terms. Now, let's detail the immediate actions you should take today. Take these immediate steps. First, enable automatic payments on every active account to guarantee on-time payments. Second, keep 1 to 2 months of minimum payments in your checking account as a buffer to avoid overdrafts. Third, reduce utilization below 10% by making mid-cycle payments before the statement closing date. Fourth, consider paying twice per month so statement balances remain very small. Fifth, avoid new hard inquiries for the next 60 to 90 days to stabilize your profile. Finally, build a small emergency fund so unexpected expenses do not cause a late payment. Next, let's master utilization with a quick visual and simple math. Utilization is calculated as balance divided by credit limit. Target below 10% both on each card and across total available credit. To achieve this, make a mid-cycle payment about 3 to 5 days before your statement closing date, ensuring the reported balance is minimal. For example, if your limit is $1,000, aim for a statement balance between $0 and $99. This keeps your reported utilization in the optimal zone. Now that utilization is under control, let's align expectations with a realistic timeline. This timeline illustrates how to stack wins over time. On day 0, enable autopay and pause hard inquiries. During week 1, schedule mid-cycle payments. By month 1, open 2 secured credit cards and use them for small, regular charges. At month 3, add a small secured loan. Between months 4 and 5, consider a small consumer installment loan with a 60 to 70% down payment. At month 6, review your score and clean up any reporting issues. Around month 9, if your record is spotless, request modest credit line increases. At month 12, reassess larger borrowing goals. By month 24, the older derogatory marks have aged significantly, and your consistent positives generally take center stage. Next, let's assemble the ideal account mix. Lenders prefer a borrower who can manage different types of credit. Open 2 secured credit cards and place small recurring charges on them, such as subscriptions or everyday items. Add 1 small secured loan, for example a gold-backed product, if that is available in your market. Then, add a small consumer installment loan, such as financing an appliance, but put 60 to 70% down to reduce risk and keep payments manageable. Automate payments across the board and maintain utilization below 10%. Allow these accounts to report flawlessly for at least 6 to 12 months to demonstrate consistent, responsible behavior. Now, here is a starter blueprint you can model. This table summarizes a practical starting configuration. 2 secured credit cards with small limits create low-cost positive history and help smooth utilization. A modest secured loan adds installment diversity. A small consumer installment loan, combined with a 60 to 70% down payment, thickens the credit mix while keeping monthly payments manageable. Finally, an emergency buffer equal to 1 to 2 times your monthly minimums protects your on-time record. Next, let's check your understanding with a quick quiz. Quiz time. The question is, what is the optimal target for credit utilization during recovery? The options are below 10%, 30 to 50%, 70 to 90%, or exactly 0% at all times. You may pause the video now to think about the answer of the accent. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is below 10%. This level supports the strongest scoring benefit on most models while still showing active, responsible usage. Now let's challenge another common belief about taking new debt after a settlement. Let's compare common myths to reality. First, the idea that you should never borrow again after settlement is misleading. In practice, controlled and purposeful new credit can demonstrate reliability. Second, relying on a single new card is typically weaker than presenting a diversified mix. Third, even if you pay in full, high statement balances can hurt scores because utilization is measured at reporting time. Fourth, while old derogatory marks are serious, time reduces their weight, and consistent positive data can eventually dominate. Next, let's cover monitoring and dispute hygiene to protect the gains you are building. Monitor your entire credit profile monthly or quarterly across all bureaus. Confirm that settled accounts are coded correctly, as closed and settled. Dispute any inaccuracies, such as duplicate accounts, incorrect dates, wrong balances, or misattributed ownership. Track the relationship between your score, utilization levels, and newly added accounts. Keep documentation of all disputes and follow up on timelines until corrected. Now, another quick quiz on whether small new debt is part of the solution. Here is the question. After a settlement, is taking on small, well-managed new debt part of a fast recovery strategy? Your options are yes, strategically and manageably, no, avoid any new debt, only if your score is already high, or it does not matter either way. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is yes, strategically and manageably. A controlled amount of new credit, combined with perfect payment history and low utilization, provides the current positive data lenders need to reassess your risk. Next, let's caution against common pitfalls that can derail progress. Avoid these common mistakes. A single late payment can restart the clock on derogatory behavior. Allowing utilization to spike above 10% at statement time can suppress your score. Opening too many accounts too quickly creates excessive inquiries and instability. Failing to monitor and dispute errors lets avoidable damage persist. Finally, running without an emergency cash buffer leaves you vulnerable to surprise expenses that cause missed payments. Now, let's lock in the most important takeaways. These are the essential points. First, end late payments immediately using autopay and a cash buffer. Second, keep utilization under 10%, using mid-cycle payments to control reported balances. Third, construct a diversified mix. 2 secured cards, 1 secured loan, and 1 small installment loan with a large down payment. Fourth, monitor your reports and disputes diligently to maintain accurate data. Fifth, assess milestones at 3, 6, and 12 months, understanding that patience and consistency are vital. Before we wrap, here's a quick visual recap using a mind map. This recap mind map brings the plan together. Stabilize immediately with autopay, buffers, and low utilization. Build a balanced credit mix. Monitor and dispute consistently, and measure progress against milestone checkpoints. Over 12 to 24 months, clean behavior accumulates and reduces the relative weight of old derogatory marks, improving your eligibility and terms. Finally, let's close with a friendly request. Thank you for watching. If this roadmap was helpful, please like the video, share it with someone who is rebuilding after a settlement, and subscribe for more practical financial strategies. Tell us in the comments what step you are taking this week and any topics you want covered next.